Welcome to the Whiskey Chasers, where we talk about our passion for whiskey and its history, either amongst ourselves or while interviewing distilleries, all while enjoying a glass. I'm Steve.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Chris.
Please enjoy responsibly while enjoying this week's episode of the Whiskey Chasers.
All right. Wow, that's it. This is going to be more of an aromatic-y English.
Have we had this before?
On the podcast? I don't believe so.
What is it? Again?
This is Lane Limited.
Lane 1Q?
No, well, yeah, the folks that bring you Lane 1Q,
Okay.
the folks that bring you Captain Black, and a lot of the other blends, the guys that make Nightcap and all the Peterson blends now, which were formerly Dunhill blends. They came out, man, I don't even know how long ago this was. I should look at it.
Before you go further, you guys are going to have to try what we're drinking before you start smoking. Just going to tell you that.
I'd have to Google it, Steve. I don't know when this came out, but I'll look it up. There was a thing where Lane came out with they were like, we're going to make our own stuff and it's going to be limited runs, and they came up with like 4 and for some reason they were all English blends, and they're all very similar to Nightcap. Not 100%, but they're similar. And
What's it called?
This one is Medal of Valor.
Medal of Valor.
But look how nice that looks. It's in feel it.
Is this an aromatic?
No, this isn't English, but it's got some. It's made by Lane, so
because Lane is normally aromatic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They make a lot of stuff, but
Okay.
they do make a lot of aromatics. I mean, they're the MGP of tobacco. They make for a lot of people.
Yeah. Latakia, Virginia's, Burley's, Orientals, Perique are all in there. It's primarily a Latakia. Medium strength.
Yeah, so I bought up a ton of their 10s just because they were kind of collectible. And instead of keeping them, I've just been smoking them. And they're pretty good. But they're nothing to write home about.
2015 is when this came out.
2015. So this is from 2015. Okay. Because I bought those as soon as they came out, and I have not opened this until today. So I bought like 4 tins of this, and I have smoked this before, but this one's got the most age on it. So we shall see. But English blends don't always translate to cellaring. What's that?
We just got done talking on our last episode about Moonshine University going out in the last year. I think it's just this year alone, 2026, maybe 25, 26. There have been 4 distilleries that have declared bankruptcy. AM Scott declared bankruptcy here in Ohio. And then there was Luca Mariano Distillery out of Kentucky that declared bankruptcy as well and was just bought.
Well, that's kind of answering our questions.
Yeah.
It was just bought through a court-supervised bankruptcy sale. Okay. It's a Nevada-based wine and spirits company. You don't even just go out
when you're in a company like you get bankrupt.
Yeah,
and then
you're gone.
Nevada-based wine and spirits company bought it for $19.5 million
from the bank at that point.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But the acquisition includes 529 acres for the campus, the production facilities, real estate, intellectual property, and about 6,600 aging bourbon barrels.
Wow.
That is a low price.
Yeah.
They got a lot. That's why you buy from the bank out of a foreclosure bankruptcy type deal, because you get way more bang for your buck.
And they currently own, so this the Spirits and Wine Company currently owns Noble Oak, Monkey Paradise Vodka, Andajela Tequila, and Blue Nectar Tequila, along with Noble Oak Rye and Johnny Lee Hooker Whiskey.
I was an okay fan of Noble Oak. I have a couple of bottles of theirs.
It wasn't bad.
I was just wondering why they had so many barrels lying around. Maybe they were distilling for people or something.
Yeah.
Well, Luca Mariano, no, I think they tried to get too big too
That's just
fast.
too many barrels for a company that only has like one recognizable brand. You know what I mean?
So Luca Mariano did not own, they didn't own Noble Oak. Luca Mariano was their own brand. See if I can find the bottles. Oh, you've seen the bottles. I guarantee you've seen the bottles.
Oh, yeah. No, I've had it. Yeah.
Yeah, they went out of business.
Well, that Hooker whiskey.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
It's usually pretty cheap.
Well, that smells very different than the last one we just did.
It does.
So,
Did you try it? Okay.
I haven't tasted it yet.
I love how he said to drink it and then smoke, and I've been smoking and not drinking.
You've already tried it before,
did
Chris.
just light up, but I just did the initial
The
light,
charring light,
and
yeah.
then I was like, all right, I forgot.
So I'm trying to get the charring light going. And actually, tonight's a good night for an English. I haven't had one in a minute, and I'm appreciating. Ever since I took a step back from English blends, I really appreciate them when I smoke them now, which is not often. And I like that because there was a minute I was like, I don't know, they're just whatever. But now I'm starting to really appreciate them when I have them. Something to be said for taking a step back sometimes.
It is.
Yeah, there's something to be said about that. I take a step back every day.
From your brain. Sometimes you have to. All right, now I'm gonna take a sippy. Did we talk about what we're having yet?
We're on the opposite end of it. So
this is the Pentucky.
Pentucky. Yep.
Pentucky. So this is Liberty
So they
Pulls.
did do a Pentucky.
This is Pentucky. Pennsylvania was
Pennsylvania and then a Pentucky.
Pentucky was Liberty Pulls. They got to name their own thing.
I was joking around about that last time. I didn't even think about
So
that.
this is Liberty Pulls' version of it, of the blend. And again, I don't know for sure what barrel they picked, but after trying some things, getting to try some things there at Liberty Pull, there's a whole backstory to these bottles.
I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's I hate to say it so quick, but for me, that's just so sweet in a good way.
Yeah.
But it is like, wow, like
It's
very
incredibly sweet. There is almost.
but you can taste that freaking Monica Halo. Like
Yeah,
you can
you
taste
can.
it. Like that is
This
Pennsylvania.
This is much more rye heavy.
This is like, don't forget who we are.
Right,
Yeah. And
This is
we're gonna
much bolder.
sweeten it up, but
Yeah.
this is our shit. I mean,
Yeah, this is much more bold than the MB Roland version was.
this is
That
more
was
bold.
a little bit lighter. A little nice evening at the porch on a sunny summer day. This we're moving to the fall.
This is
This
the
is
last
fall.
one was like Shakespeare in the Park. This is kind of like, you're on a stage with lights kind of a deal. Like it's, and not to be downplaying MB Roland.
No. It was
There was something
These are
beautiful
very
in
different.
the low key, versus this is kind of like they dialed it up.
They dialed it up.
So before we go into like stories, 'cause I'll tell the whole story about this. But before we go into it, I mentioned on the MB Roland one, I don't know how much they've had blending wise. We know Liberty Pull. We've done interviews with them. We've talked to them several times. They're not big blenders as of now. This was their first real blending experience. Knowing that, how does that impact?
Well, I think either one they tipped odds in their favor, or two, they really nailed it. I mean, it's not disjointed. For a blended product, it is perfectly well
It's very cohesive.
blended together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Very cohesive. The
cohesive.
flavors are tight. It's not actually spread out flavor wise. It's very tight together.
So what's crazy is when you talk about blending, because we talked about what they did for blending, they literally just sampled these two together, what they had, and said, this is what we want to blend, and threw it into a metal vat and blended it that way and then bottled it. So it's not like they blended it into any kind of barrels to let them meld
They
together.
just mixed it up.
They
and
just mixed it up.
that was it. I love that. I love that.
They mixed it up.
Well,
And
she
maybe
worked.
that's why you got such a powerful flavor, because it's just so like the chemical reaction was like, what the hell are we doing? Yeah. There's not much of a finish,
There's not much
at
of
all.
a finish. No.
but what's there is really a powerhouse.
Yeah, this punches you at the front end. This goes right to the gullet.
This is there's a lot of intense flavors. It is a thinker in the sense that not that there's something lingering, but it's thinking of like, what did I just have?
Well, I like that about it,
What is
because
going on?
It is a thinker, but it's one that you would drink a lot of.
Yeah, I'm glad it's 105 proof, 105.6, and I'm glad it's as low as it is because it drinks hotter than that on the front end, but it calms itself down a little bit, so you can let it sit in your mouth for a minute.
It makes you want to
And,
take
like,
another drink.
Yeah,
So it's a good thing it's lower proof.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad it's as low as it is because you can't just let it sit in your mouth for a minute and have it just kind of mingle for a second and try
The way
to piece
that it
things
kind
out.
of fizzles out, I wouldn't say fizzles out, but and it's not a candle in the wind, but it kind of like slow fades.
Yeah.
Without a finish, that it leaves you wanting to drink another one even quicker. Like I feel like I'm taking sips quicker than usual.
Yeah.
because I want to experience it again and again and again. And that is good. Like, it's like when they put the salt in snacks to make you want to eat more. That's
Or
totally
the
what this
MSG.
is. Yeah. Is this making me want to keep having that experience as much as I can. It's addicting. That's what it is. It's a good flavor. It's so damn sweet. But with that rye that they have going on, it works. Without that, I think it would be too damn sweet.
Which is interesting that you consider it sweet, because I don't consider it sweet at all, and I don't know if it's because of that. Well, I don't consider it the same
No,
sweetness.
I get. Yeah, I think this is sweet.
I feel like it's like a pepper jelly. Like it's like there's that spice from the peppers, and there is definitely it's heavy rye. Like you're definitely getting that ryeness.
Yeah, but with the sugar.
So it's
Like a pepper jelly is a great way to describe it. And you can eat yourself sick on that stuff. You know what I mean? It's because for me, it is kind of spicy. It's got some backbone of the pepper and stuff, but it's sweet too. So it's more like because I like to put that stuff on cream cheese and like, damn, dude, like that's a good time. But you can eat yourself sick on it. I can. I don't know about you, but I can. I can go through a whole sleeve of crackers doing that. Like, but it's a kind of a sweet salty type of a deal and spicy. And the only thing better than sweet salty is sweet salty spicy, in my opinion. Like a lot of people don't talk about the spicy aspect. You get them all. Yeah, you get them all.
Touch of umami and we'd be here.
Little umami, yeah. Forget about it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's dude, they man, I hate to say it, but boy, this is good.
I know, right?
I'm looking at both of them. I'm like, good.
So I get more Dusty Barn on this though.
There is.
Than I did on the other one too.
It's the Pennsylvania style Dusty Barn. It's that Monongahela. It's that like the weather has just been ripping through that barn. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like when I get the Pennsylvania rye. It's like not only is it a dusty barn, but somebody left the damn door open and water and weather and wind has been ripping through that bad boy. That's what I get, dude. And I love that. It's so like old farm. It's old farm, you know. And when you're talking about like the birthday of America or whatever, that's kind of cool too. You know what I mean? It's like
exactly.
Old America, old farm, old freaking Paul Revere riding through, the British are coming. Holy shit. And, and there's with the lights and the lanterns and the stuff and the barns and everybody's mourning each other. I just feel like that's old America. What, the Republic or whatever. Yeah. It's just Revolutionary War type stuff. Yeah. I get that. I get all of that with the sweetness, which is great touch. It's just a great touch.
So I don't know if you guys know enough about the history to get this reference, but for any history nerds that are listening to this in Revolutionary time, this bottle is Jefferson. It's the agrarian. It's the farm. It's the agrarian life.
The quiet life.
The quiet life. And the MB Roland one is Adams. And so Adams was a lawyer.
City.
He was more of a city guy. And the two of them were the best of friends. They were incredibly good friends for most of their lives. They did separate out. They had the election of 1900 is similar to our elections today. They're very dirty. So go back and look at some political cartoons from that era. It's pretty fantastic. And the two of them kind of split up and they were no longer friends for a little bit. They got back together. Luckily, we know a lot about both of them because both of them were a little egotistical and wrote down everything.
You'd have to be. And they wrote a lot.
And they wrote to each other a lot. So we have a lot of letters back and forth between Adams and Jefferson. And they both died on the 50th anniversary of the country. So July 4th.
How about that? They both died on July 4th.
They both died on July 4th, 1776. So 1826. Yeah, so the 50th anniversary of the country, they both died on July 4th.
How about that? I do remember hearing that. That's hard to believe, though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Their story is pretty cool.
The differences between that and, like, say, nowadays is politically it was more dirty. You know what I mean? And what's interesting is that was in a time where the stakes were higher, right? But people were there for it. And they did it respectfully because that was like their entertainment and it was exciting. And at the end of the day, whether we win or we lose, we won because we have our own country now. You know what I mean? So I think that it's an interesting concept that it's like they were dirtier than we are now, but they did it in a friendlier way than we do now.
Yeah. It was also just a little bit more transparent. Yeah. So like today we have Fox News that's clearly a right-leaning media source. MSNBC is clearly a left-leaning media source.
Doesn't even show the president.
But they will try to like pretend like they're not for some reason, and they'll try to be like, no, we're for America. No, you're not. You're for your side.
Like, just be honest.
Stop pretending.
Yeah, quit pretending.
Whereas back then, they didn't pretend. Like, the newspaper was the Republican. It was like the Republican Star or whatever, So, like, there was no denying what side you were on.
But I think
as the like media
people
source.
too were like it. You wouldn't be embarrassed to be either side because at the end of the day, you got to choose, and you were in a time where nobody did, and it was very like it had to have been awesome. Can you imagine just being like, we get this choice, and I get to be all about this party or all about this party, and in a time where it was like, it's my way or the highway, literally like you either go with it or you get executed.
Yeah. And this is the plus and minus of democracy, because at that time you had to decide if you were a white male that owned land, and that was it. Like, those are the only people that were allowed to vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
no women, nobody,
no poor people. So like you had to own land.
And they were coming from a society where it was like, unless you were rich, you had no say.
Yeah. So now you could be slightly less rich and have a say. But still, that was it at this point, because this is 1826. We're pre-Civil War. We're pre all that stuff. We're pre-suffrage. Like, no women voting, no blacks voting, no poor whites voting. So like that. And now we have to deal with the fact that everyone gets a vote, even though we see people every day that clearly should not be
voting. Everybody gets to vote, but not everybody should vote.
And that changes the dynamics of things, because if uneducated people are allowed to vote, then they're easier to trick into voting, and for whatever side it is. So it's the pluses and minuses of democracy. It's kind of a interesting look at everything.
You bear the fruits, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I just think that it's a cool, like, I don't know. I think that it's easy not to get too political because we don't want to, but I think it's easy in today's society to be kind of like over it. But if you were to put yourself in the shoes, and I don't mean like clearly everybody should have been allowed to vote back then. So let's pretend you could put yourself in the shoes of an early American and everybody got to vote. Mm-hmm. What an exciting, awesome, and you'd be so happy to go out there. Like the responsibility of voting, right? And the excitement, and at the end of the day, everybody's just like, on the one hand, like they're gonna be fighting about it, but on the other hand, at the end of the day, like they would come together too. Like it didn't drive us apart.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like we would definitely
did like 30 years later.
To a degree, yeah. But I mean back then, you know what I mean? Like it was like, it's just cool to think about.
And so I had a professor once that told me he was a little happy that only 50% of the country voted, and the reason being that meant like countries that are collapsing have like a 90% voting thing, because it's like, this is a life and death election. Like this is super duper important, because if we don't vote, then like the whole country is going to collapse. Whereas for us, like it's a big deal, but maybe it's not.
Yeah. I mean, if 50% of the people are voting,
we're dealing with a lot of first world problems kind of deal.
50% of the people are voting. It means everybody's pretty much happy.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
the end of the day.
And so, but yeah, we lots of different ways of looking at that. But it was an interesting kind of concept that he had. So these two bottles reminded me of Jefferson and Adams, and like kind of the different looks at the both of them, and like the flavors and everything. So is that Jefferson is the agrarian president. That was what he's known for. He wanted everyone to be a farmer.
Well, and I'm not going to say that I picked the perfect tobacco for this, but I think picking an English for this was the right choice.
Yeah. I was a little worried when you mentioned Englishes for this, because I knew that at least half of this bottle, both of these bottles, was going to be a rye.
When I think the last bottle would have been terrible with an English.
Which is interesting, because you might think that it would be good for it because it was a little bit weaker. It was a little bit more basic in that. And so you would think English would go well with it, but I agree. I don't think it would have. I think it would have overpowered it.
This is working with the English aspects of pipe tobacco, is working really well with the sweetness. Give that a sniff, Nick. And it's kind of, we're talking so much about the early country. I just feel like this type of tobacco, this smell, this taste, it really is kind of putting me into that revolutionary time mindset. So not only is it working well with the bottle, but what the bottle is invoking, this tobacco is working well with the idea of this conversation we're having. And that's what's interesting about this podcast. I think if we weren't recording right now, we'd still be having the same conversation, and we would be talking about, we would open this bottle and we would drink, and we'd be talking about the early times of America and things like that. Steve would probably go even further into all that stuff.
I would go into more politics.
He's our American history expert. But I think that this tobacco, this smoke, would just be brought out because of those conversations, and then it would just continue to kind of like how it is on the podcast. I just think that is telling me that I did pick. English works with this bottle, and how cool is it that this bottle is kind of bringing that type of conversation out?
It's a great conversation bottle, and it is because it's so kind of dynamic. Like there's a few different flavors going on. So I really, really enjoy it. And then, the drink that's going with it is going good too. Nick, you know more about how this process came to be. So how did this bottle come to be?
So I'm just going to tell the story.
Yeah.
Because Herm and I sent it out to all you guys, but I think everyone was busy with work or life. Herm and I got the chance to go when they released these two bottles. And I took a half a day. I'm thinking, you know what? We get there around 2:30, 3 o'clock from Columbus. They should have plenty of bottles there. And we get there, and Herm goes, how funny would it be if they don't have anything left? That wouldn't be too funny, but it would be a fun ride. And we get in there. They had 6 bottles left of the MB Roland, and that was it. They had plenty of theirs because they still had stuff in the back.
But that was it.
Out of the 10 cases they had for MB Roland, they had 6 bottles left. And we got in there, and the guy doing the tasting at the bottle shop was like, you need MB Rollins first because ours will overpower it. They're both great, but ours will overpower the experience.
He was right.
He was 100% right. And I remember trying it then and be like, wow, you could definitely, at that point I was like, you could definitely tell MB Rollins was MB Rollins. You could definitely tell this was Liberty Pulse. There was a guy there from Ohio that comes every Thursday to Liberty, but just travels to Pennsylvania every Thursday.
Was he the guy that was there when we were there?
I don't know.
There was one guy that was a regular that showed up.
Oh, yeah. He shows up every Thursday. He comes to Liberty Pole. And he heard us talking about it. So he's like, I need bottles before these guys buy anything. And we bought for the MB Roland. By the time we were done, there was only 1 bottle left. There was a guy behind us, and we're like, we'll leave one for you. But Jim walked in. And we started talking to Jim, the owner of Liberty Pole, the one that we interviewed. And keep in mind, folks, they've just released and started their single barrel program. And so they're relatively new at it. And Herm and I got to try, the podcast has gotten to try their finished products before of different barrels they finished in. And so we thought, let's just ask, are you thinking about doing this for the single barrels? Because the club would love a finished barrel. And Jim got a smirk on his face. He's like, no, I mean, we've had a lot of people ask about it, but nothing in the works just yet. And just paused right there. We're like, okay, conversation is done. He's like, come on back. Let me share some with you. It was like another 3-hour long day of just him sharing stuff with us that they have. Their Monongahela rye finished in apple brandy barrels.
That sounds good.
Laird's apple brandy. It's one of the oldest apple brandy companies.
Laird's, yeah.
And they have a barrel that they have sitting in there that's like a 5 or 6-year-old rye that's been sitting in these apple brandy barrels.
Dude,
and
did you get a bottle of that?
No, it's in their immersion experience. I really want a bottle.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I love my brandy.
I know. It was wonderful. But we went through this whole experience, and we're looking at everything they're doing, right? My prediction, one of the things I looked at the beginning of the year was which distilleries to look out for. And Liberty Pole was my number one to look out for. If this tells you anything about this distillery, we get there, there's no one there. They were even like, yeah, Jim and Ellen, they're not here right now. Jim shows up randomly. Let me take you to the back and start offering you guys things. Let's try things. Let's talk. And then, as I mentioned at MB Roland, they had Fred Minnick that did a live stream with Liberty Pole. So they timed out so both of them were on together to go over these bottles and everything. But at Liberty Pole, they had 2 other clubs, another podcast, and they had Breaking Bourbon, the website. They had them there to go over this. And we were about ready to leave, and he let us try Dark Fried Kentucky at a bottle of the M.B. Rollins Dark Fried Kentucky. And we got to try it. We went into his like sampling room that we've never been in. We need to ask to try to go in there next time because there's just bottles galore. And he's just pulling down stuff to let us try. And I remember looking at him and be like, Jim, this is shaping up to be pretty big. And he looks at me and he goes, yeah, I didn't realize how many people, this is probably their like Friday. And Herm and I were like, no, like this event, like you guys releasing this, you guys doing this is pretty big. He goes, yeah, but I guess July 1st is like people's Friday. Like it's not that big of a deal. Super humble about it, like just way over his head.
Like not saying that it was his stuff, but saying that it was
like how extreme. Like you guys, we talk about at the beginning, they haven't really blended, especially blending with other companies or other stuff. They get 3 barrels to pick from. They pick one and then go, hey, let's find a rye that fits with this. We've never done this before. Let's figure out what fits. After trying this and trying the Dark Fired Kentucky, I wonder if they got a barrel of the Dark Fired Kentucky because it is very like that smoky, corn heavy.
There is almost like a smokiness to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there is. Yeah.
And so I wonder if Dark Fired Kentucky is the barrel that they picked.
Well, that'd be interesting if they did. And for it to be that sweet, I don't know.
And they just went 1 for 1. They literally just tried a rye. They tried ryes and said this one would go well with it. And then poured it together, blended it, and bottled it. And for them to be like, not that big of a deal. Well, this is huge.
That's and I don't want to I don't want it to go to their head. So that's like where you have to be quiet. But like they're so much better than they realize.
Yes.
And that's the thing is you don't and you don't get that very often. Right. You know, and they genuinely don't realize how good they are.
And I think because they're one of the things we talked about, Herm and I talked about with Jim and Ellen, we got a moment just to talk with them alone. And one of the things we talked about was how hospitable they are. And I think that their humble approach to everything with that hospitality creates this experience where like, we could be sitting down for dinner right now at your house and this would be normal. Like this would be fine. And you wouldn't even think twice of like, oh, this is my stuff. It'd be like, hey, I want you to try this because I really enjoy this.
Well, and they do that every day. And they do it with a lot of people. My thing is if you went there and you took a tour or whatever, and you sat down and you had dinner, you drank, you tried a bunch of their stuff. And if they got to come out and talk to you, even if for a short time, I don't think you would leave there and not be a fan. If you went there, you'd become a fan. You'd leave a fan. I don't think you could go there and not become a fan. And that means they're really doing something right. And it's not just the liquid. The liquid's great, but it's everything else too on top of it.
It's the setting. It's the people.
The setting, the how they are, their approach, their attitude.
Their approach is
all of it.
I think their approach and their attitude is
food's amazing.
It's going to make them even bigger. We have a surprise for you guys. I've already gotten to try it, but I brought along a bottle that's a barley wine finished single barrel.
And it's not even been opened.
It hasn't. So here's when I talk about who they are as people, the owners, Jim and Ellen and the family. And they're the ones to watch out for because I think they're going to become way bigger than what they can even dream or imagine. For this barrel pick, Steve knows about this. They went through like a draft, like an NFL draft for their barrel picks, and people got to pick.
No way, really?
Yeah, people went in and picked like which one they would vote for, which one they go for, and this is the one that won. Some guy picked it. He's like, yeah, this is the one I think.
Give it to the customers,
right? And so this barley wine finished rye, Monongahela rye, was the one that won.
What the hell is barley wine? Because I'm not the only one asking. Barley wine, Steve's got something.
Steve's got something. But while he's looking it up, do you guys also remember we got to try, it wasn't in production at that point, but it was a bottle that they had upstairs of their a Boo Rye, essentially.
Yeah.
They're looking to release that at 4 years in their portfolio, like their normal lineup within the next maybe year.
I think that I pushed for that, didn't I?
Yeah. We got to try it straight from the barrel.
Yes. Oh. Yes. Good. Yes. That's going to be amazing, dude.
Oh, it was a wonderful. Like they're
I'm pumped, dude. They're always releasing stuff.
They're always releasing stuff. Like the fact that they, again, we're 7 years, or 7 years apart from each other. 26 No, 20.
It was 2009 and 2016.
Yeah, so 7 years apart.
So basically, Liberty Pole's been around for 10 years, and they're killing it.
But they're also
Killing it for 10
maintaining
years.
that they see value in maintaining that relationship.
Well, they're building themselves for longevity as well. They're not going to be a flash in the pan.
They're not. We talk about these craft distilleries going out of business. These are not guys that will have to look for that anytime because they're not in it for the money. They're in it for the fun.
Themselves up for a legacy brand, like their kids and whoever's going to take over down the road. And this is going to be one to keep your eye on.
I think once you become once you get to know Rob, Kevin, Ellen, and Jim, you become like lifelong friends. Like if they're there and they see you, it's like, hey, we got stuff for you. Come on back and try this.
Well, it doesn't take long to get to know them, and you become fast friends.
And like, think of any other distillery that we've been to that's that way. Like I even told them up until that point, up until we got to meet them for the interview and got to talk to them, Journeyman was like Journeyman. It's the best one.
Jephthah Creed. I really like Jephthah. Those guys were great too. But when I think of Liberty Pole, I really think of family. Yeah. Like they're like family. And I love Journeyman like a lot, but they're not like family. You know what I mean? And I was just so surprised because when we went there the first time, I just kind of had in my mind, like it's going to be like this or that or what, it ended up being just so. And then every time since, it's just like those guys are family.
They are, and nothing's off limits to them as far as like connecting. I asked them after we went to Iron Vault and found out that one of the owners is big into peated Scotch, and that's why they do their American single malt, and they're trying to figure out how to create that flavor with an American whiskey.
Well, nothing's off the table. No, that's the thing as far as like innovation goes. Right.
And I reached out to Jim, and Jim was like, let me give them their contact. I'd love to talk to them. If they want to talk about it, I'd love to talk to them. Yeah. So like, no, there's this idea that no one is off the table of like, we've done this before. Let's collaborate together. Let's figure this out together. And this gets me this bottle offer just alone, like this whole thing gets me so excited for them and anyone that they touch hands with.
Well, and their first time like collaborating. Yeah. They killed it. Because Steve, tell us.
What is
barley wine? Because I want to crack that thing open and try it.
It's actually an ale. It's actually technically an ale.
Okay, that makes sense.
But its proof point is usually closer to a rye. Or closer to a wine. It's usually like between 8 and 15%. And so it's.
I was going to say, what
proof point
is rye?
Higher proof point.
Are we talking wine? Proof rye? We're talking
wine.
A solid 15%. We're talking full 30.
That's a foolproof vine.
And so it's a really malty ale.
Okay, malty ale. I'm here for it.
Rich, malty, and complex, usually tasting notes of caramel, toffee, and dried fruit, and molasses.
Can't forget the molasses. I'm a molasses fanatic. I love molasses. Yeah. I still use molasses 95% of the time on my pancakes.
Please cracker.
Cracker open. So whoever's listening is getting a double bottle. Yeah. You're getting 2 for the price of 1.
So before he tries that.
Well, that was a clean little wow.
Thinking about the Pennsylvania versus the Pentucky. We described the Pennsylvania. I keep wanting to say Pennsylvania when I see it. Pennsylvania as more heavy corn forward rye in the background, but a good blend of the two. How would you describe this guy?
As far as the rye goes, or just in general?
In general.
Honestly?
Yeah. Yes.
Do you want me to take you on a trip?
Yes.
It's
take
been
us
a long
please.
Time.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what this reminds me of. Like a classic fair. Okay. So imagine like going to like a real old school fair, and you got the sights and the sounds and the smells. Okay. And it's on grass because they all are. And none of that crappy carny type stuff with the fair. Just imagine like the good aspects only. And you're smelling caramel corn in the background.
So like fair food.
And cotton candy and funnel cakes. And, there's people saying like, try your luck and stuff like that. Like classic carnival sounds, fair sounds. I guess it's more of a carnival than a fair. And that excitement that you get, and it's evening, okay? Kind of, it's cooling down a little bit. And that is the feeling that I get. That feeling of it's fall. It's early fall. Not quite the end of summer. close. Early fall, the sweetness in the air, not just of the grass and the leaves, but of the treats, the carnival's treats, and then the sounds. And it's almost spooky. It's almost Halloween.
Thank you.
But not quite.
Okay.
Something wicked this way comes. Kind of a vibe. Yeah. That is what I get from like this. That's the journey I get with this bottle. Now, as far as flavors go, it's sweet. It's got this heady rye, this backbone of rye. For me, the biggest thing, and it's got very quintessential kind of bourbon aspects to it. Along with that Monongahela, I already talked about the way that I described the barn. The barn feeling on this is that weathered barn. But the biggest aspect to this, and I think this is what for me is the selling point, is it leaves you wanting more in a way that is so much like a carnival. Because if you ever have a good experience at a carnival, you can't wait for it to come around again. And that's the cool thing about a carnival is it pops up, right? So like, I don't know, like where I grew up, it was there once a year. So like you had a great time at the carnival and then there's this anticipation of when is it coming back kind of a thing. Pretty cool to get all those kinds of feelings and thoughts and emotions in a bottle. That's what I get. That's the journey that I go down.
When you were talking about that, I don't know that I've ever found a bottle outside of rye or 101 turkey rye that fits Halloween. Yeah. This fits Halloween at your house.
Yeah, or at least pre-Halloween. Yeah.
I could sit on Halloween and I could drink this and be happy. Like this is Halloween.
Yeah. It fits fall, early fall. Yeah.
But here's the thing. When it comes to Halloween around here, it's normally it's a hit or miss. It can be rainy and cold as shit. Or really warm.
It snowed a couple times.
Yes, exactly.
When we talk about the Halloween of my childhood, I'd say 100%.
Yes.
The Halloween here, that's why I'm saying early fall. Like, because when I grew up, Halloween was very much fall, like heart of fall. And that's what I get. Autumn. If you were to wrap up autumn into a bottle and put it and distill it down in a liquid, this is autumn. And it's not just Halloween, it's just autumn. This is great for right now. This is summertime. This is not a summertime bottle though.
No.
This is fall, early fall to fall. And it is I'm here for it, dude. It's green apples and caramel. It's freaking the music playing in the background. It's some spooky stories in the wind in the air. I love it, dude. This is so well done.
You know what's funny is just last week when you tried these two side by side, you wanted them to be rolling over that one, which is so funny. What I find ironic in that is there was no pipe involved.
There was no pipe. There was no setting. It was very much try this. And I was, and it was like the whatever. And when you do it like that rapid fire, I just don't trust. And that's why I always give a very blanket because I can't trust my palate 100%. And I can't trust the setting because settings can also change things. But I mean, in this instance, we've gone from the one to the other and being able to have that, I'm able to contrast them.
That was not the same the other week.
And I appreciate them both. Last week, it was very much this one over that one, and that one's kind of nondescript. And now it's very different. Very different.
Yeah. It is amazing how much setting matters. When it comes to whiskey and like the flavors that you're pulling out. Yeah. And I think it's a little bit because there are different flavors in there. The setting helps you pull out certain flavors. Yeah. So they're all still there. Everything you felt the last time you had it is still true. Like it's still right. But this time it's different. And so it is interesting how that happens with whiskey a lot. Because like when we were talking earlier, like I had a distinct memory in my head of being with my cousin up in the hayloft. We
first cousin? Just curious.
Right. Different kind of story. He
was another story.
Right. So I was with my cousin Joe and Joseph. So and we would all the time go into his barn with our garden guns, which are they're 22s, but they're like shotgun shells. They're 22s, but with little things. It's for killing birds inside a barn because it doesn't go through the walls. Guns.
I didn't know that there was such thing as a garden gun.
There are things, so you can put it in any 22.
Shotgun version of a 22.
It's a shotgun version of 22.
Dude,
so you can use those shells in any 22 rifle. but you have to be careful. You use them a lot, they'll dent up your rifling on the inside.
Oh yeah, I can see
And
that.
so they sell
And
certain
then that's
versions of
dangerous.
this. Yeah, they sell certain versions of this that is a non-rifled 22 for these. And we all got one as kids. My grandpa was a big fan of Marlin guns, and they made one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone got one except for me. They had stopped doing it by then, and they never could find one for me.
That's
so
the definition of SOL.
it just Grandpa scoured the gun shows and couldn't find one.
That's how you know it's hard to find the gun shows.
Exactly. But I ended up getting a different version of it. I think mine was not a Marlin. It was might be a Winchester or something. I
You
don't
guys
remember.
killing rat snakes in there or what?
We were shooting birds up in the aft rafters and stuff.
What those birds ever do to you?
So that was the memory I had at the beginning of this when we were doing that.
Yeah.
But now when you went through all that with the fall carnival, it switched to being in the yard, raking up leaves and jumping in the leaves.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
doing all that stuff as kids. Like me and my sister and my dad out raking up leaves and making the giant piles to jump in.
What a sight, sound, memory, and smell. I mean, it's got all of them.
Those dying leaves. And then afterwards, lighting them all up and having a giant bonfire.
Yeah.
A very fast bonfire.
Very quick. Maybe s'mores.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe s'mores. Yeah. So, but yeah, the setting matters a lot when it comes to that stuff. Just the talking, what you're talking about, pull out different flavors as you go.
What's crazy to me to put these two side by side. Again, listeners are a week after each other, but for us tonight it was side by side. My experience was similar to Chris's when I tried it for the first time. Of wow, I really enjoy the Pentucky because I can tell that's theirs. But honestly, MB Rollins is hitting it off. Like that's my thing. And we went through the whole day, afternoon, ended up having dinner there, and we got two pours side by side. And I remember trying them side by side and going, did they mix mine up? Because this one,
Now this one's
this one is hitting it. Like this one seems more like this is MB Rollins. Like this is more Dusty Barn. This is more like sweet, that corn. Like it's got more of that than what MB Rollins has. Did I mess something up? Did they mess something up? And I remember going through the whole night and Herm's like, no. This, you have them right. Like this is what I remember. And it's so interesting to think, because at that point we got to talk to Jim about how they blend and everything. And I think about, okay, MB Rollins they kind of have their placehold. Like they kind of built their own kind of platform, their own kind of following. They've got people wanting their stuff. They've been around for a while. If they haven't been blending at this point, that's a shocker. Like they probably have been blending some of their own stuff. 2009, they've been around for a while. Someone that's been around since 2016, they just hit their 10-year anniversary. This is their first time ever truly blending completely different whiskeys, not just completely different from state to state, but never blending a bourbon and a rye. They've done the Boo Rye, which is essentially a high rye bourbon, but they've never blended their bourbon and their rye together to create something. For this being their first time, holy crap, folks. Watch
It
out.
makes you wonder, did they just luck out or like
Like, do you know who was any person particularly responsible for that blending? Like either the kids or
No, Jim
or
said that they
anything?
were all involved.
they're usually all involved.
Yeah, they were all involved. And so what they did is they actually went out and grabbed, my understanding was they didn't blend the two together. They tried them side by side and said, this would go well with this. This is out. This is
decided on proportion and things like that.
Proportion
or-
was 1-to-1. They
They did a 1-to-1.
They already had that in mind.
Dude,
It was
I think that
1-to-1.
they just freaking lucked out. They had to have.
Yeah.
This is too good to like do a 1-to-1. You know, like wow, wow.
Yeah. Like, holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, like this is. I mean, we've tried a lot of things that have been blended together, collaboration,
This is a 1-to-1.
so seamless and perfect. Damn.
It's really, really good.
It was like 1-to-1 in a metal vat. Like it wasn't even like
What the frick,
1-to-1
dude?
like resting together.
So this is just two really good products that happen to go together really well.
Like really well. Yeah, at a 1-to-1 ratio. Yeah. perfect.
So this isn't skill, this is luck.
It's got to be. I mean, I hate to say that, but like, they're skillful, but you can't be this
I
good.
mean, they picked the right barrels. But
Damn, dude, this is freaking like the stars aligned for you.
Yeah.
Like, had to have been.
And the only thing that they had in mind,
But they did it, so it's on
Right.
them. Like.
and the only thing that the two had in mind was, well, let's collaborate. You take our bourbon, we take your rye. But there was no, hey, we want this flavor to come out in each, or we have
That's
this
what I
idea
was
that should
wondering
happen.
if they like sent like, hey, we're looking for these flavor profiles or. But but knowing the guys at Liberty Pole, I could see them just being like, we were going to drink it and try it until we decided like
Right.
this was good and this was not. This wasn't good and this wasn't good and this was good. And I trust that more than the I wrote out 15 pages and I think that it. I used a Venn diagram and what it's like. Get out of here. I think that the guys at Liberty Pole would try stuff until they're like, this isn't right. This is right. And I trust that way more. So I got to think that it couldn't have been all luck, but I mean, damn, they did a good job. They did a good job. And this is probably something that was also very limited. But how much were they selling theirs for? About the same? Yeah. God dang it, son of a.
this is a hell of an $80
This is
bottle.
a hell of an $80 bottle. $75 or whatever. This is a hell of an $80 bottle. Like shit. And the thing is, it's in a very nondescript bottle. The label is it the same label or is it similar?
I think it's the same, just the name is different.
Yeah, I mean, it's
One
just
is
if you were to look
Pennsylvania
at
and
that,
Pentucky,
here's the thing though, if
but
you
the
were,
bottle shape,
That's what I was just gonna say.
bottle shape's
they
different.
went different.
It almost looks like MB Roland used Liberty Pole's bottle style, and Liberty Pole used MB
I
Roland's
think you're
bottle
right
style.
because that is MB Roland's style. It's
The
not,
one that MB Roland has, that's their style.
Is
it?
The one that we
Okay.
have with the barley wine is Liberty Pole's normal style.
I thought
this is new.
Barton's wait a minute.
The Barker's Mill?
Barker's Mill was like in that bottle.
all of them are the same as the MB Roland.
Okay, maybe you're right.
This is new for Liberty Pole. This bottle is not normal for Liberty Pole or anything.
And it's a fine bottle. I like their old one better.
Yeah.
If I were to tell them like, don't go away from this,
Yeah, I like the long neck.
that's very the cheap standard everything goes bottle. That's the same bottle they use for Watershed, which is fine, but it's not this. This is better. And for Liberty Pole, for the brand, for the old world brand, like they need to stick with that bottle. So I would tell them. I would
they're
highly
sticking with that.
recommend. Yeah, I would highly recommend they don't deviate from that.
They're going to stick with that one. I think this was just a special one-off.
Yeah, then that's fine. But it's if you were to see that on the shelf and you didn't know anything about it, you'd go, "Oh, somebody made like a very American bottle," and I'm not going to get it. Maybe or maybe not. But and I don't mind that. Like for them, that might not be, but it's a special edition. I don't know.
Yeah.
But for
It's
me,
special
I'm
edition
like,
only sold in their distillery. It doesn't matter.
You were talking about them being humble. That bottle's humble because this is way better than the way it looks. Looks all right. Looks decent. Doesn't look like anything screaming, "This is amazing," and it is.
Yeah.
And to me, that makes it even
better.
more. But that's also what that deserves to be in a very fancy bottle.
That's also what makes me say these are the guys to watch out for. Not just Liberty Pole, but these kinds of distilleries are the ones to watch out
Craft.
for. Because
We've talked about that.
not just craft, because let's think
Like
about
good
Journeyman. So Journeyman we've had before. We love Journeyman.
I mean, Journeyman's still no slouch.
No, I would agree. But my only caveat in the butt is I love Journeyman, but they got too big for their britches.
A little too quick.
They're in their mind. They said we're bigger than what we are. You look at like the popcorn bourbon. We're selling that at what, $200?
Yeah, they went with the route of we're craft so we can. And I was talked about this a lot. Yeah. They went the route of we're craft so we can justify a higher price, which is not always the case. And now with the bourbon boom kind of booming out,
they're gonna have to watch that.
You gotta watch that shit. Like you gotta watch it.
The craft tax is gonna have to go away a little bit.
Dude, I think a craft bottle around $80 is going to be the going rate. And I think anything more than that, you really got to justify it because it's sight unseen. So unless you're giving out free pours and it's amazing, you're expecting people to pay $120 plus for a specialty bottle from a craft distillery is going to be difficult. That's $75, $80 is a lot easier to swallow, sight unseen. So,
And that's why I look at like MB Roland and I look at Liberty Pole and I go, these are the type of craft distilleries to look out for, because they look at it and go, our bottles are priced at what we think they should be. Our stuff is good, but we don't really know if you'll think it's good.
what I think,
like they know it's good, but
I honestly think they're so honest that they're pricing it at what it's worth plus what they think that with between all their work and everything else that it's worth. And without any sort of like, now we're also specialty on top of that tax. They don't do the tax thing. I think they put in like, okay, this is how much we have into it. This is how much we think it's worth. And that's how much we're selling it for. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And if you're doing an extra tax on top of that, which a lot of people are doing because they can justify it because they had the bourbon boom.
Right.
You got to watch that shit because it's going to go away.
Right.
And I don't think people are going to be able to pay that much because they can get better stuff for cheaper. And it's going to become more of a, there was supply and demand. Now there's going to be demand and supply.
Right.
So,
and we always tell you, just so you guys all know, we always tell you if we get bottles for free, we bought these bottles.
yeah.
And so we've never gotten a free bottle from Liberty Pole other than while we were there. Like they poured us for free.
those guys are so generous, so generous. But we did buy these bottles.
But we bought these bottles. And so for this brandy wine bottle.
But we would accept free bottles.
Steve, stop.
We'll tell you when we get them for free. When we did Smoke Eye, the Smoke Eye interview that we did, those were free bottles. Right. But that doesn't change what we're saying.
And it also doesn't change our review because I've ripped a free bottle before.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
Free
a couple times.
This brandy wine
Definitely
bottle
free to me.
really hit home with the molasses and the stuff. This is a very molasses heavy bottle. Yeah.
The brandy wine?
The brandy wine.
I haven't tried it yet.
Oh well, give her a taste.
I'll give her a taste. Steve, you start talking about it and start discussing.
So again, even on the bottle, they say I think it's like draft pick or like first round draft pick. They did a whole draft series for this, and I wish I could have been a part of this because it sounded so much fun.
It sounds super cool.
It's like our podcast would have had the club would have had a blast at doing this.
What is the proof of that brandy wine?
It was sitting in the brandy wine too, if you don't mind saying. Because they put all of that on the side.
107.6. Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy finish, Batman.
How long was it in the brandy wine?
God. Holy cow.
Go on to the cart there.
Sorry, I'm thrown for a loop.
It hits you there's a second wave.
Time in the brandy wine barrels is 1 year, 9 months.
There is that molasses. Yeah.
So enough to bake two kids in a little bit.
Yeah. This is 2 kids and a fetus.
We're going to put it in parenting terms.
9 and 9 and 4, right? That's 2 kids in 4 months. I just see 9 months and my mind immediately goes to kids. Yeah. It's because I have some. That's why. That's all. Yeah. I think 9 months and I'm thinking, I got a time clock. Yeah.
But yeah, that is an excellent.
I'm going to hold my elation, but I'm going to try to drink a little bit more. But the first sip, holy cow.
Yeah.
That molasses.
It's right there at the front. It lingers. It stays in your mouth. You swallow. And then like 10, 15 seconds later, it comes right back. You get like a second wave of it.
Without going too far into it so far, this literally, in the best terms possible, is like a kick in the nuts. Because I just did not see it coming. No. Like, I really didn't see it coming. And that's going from one to the other. And it's just flavors turned up to an 11 on this.
That's it. And this doesn't, and
out of 10.
To switch that around a little bit, the Pentucky punches more.
Oh yeah,
it's a punch. This one lingers.
Up on you.
I'm not talking proof.
Yeah.
I'm not talking proof. No. I'm talking flavor. And it hasn't gone away. Like it's just hanging out.
It's hanging out.
It's like your Uncle Rodney or whatever it is. He's just like not leaving. Like
the Pentucky with the punch.
Yeah.
The best picture I can paint for you is Hudson has started this thing. I don't know who put him onto it, but he started this thing the minute I walked through the door.
Does he hit you in the nuts?
It's the pee-pee punch.
Oh, yeah.
And he will come out of nowhere and just scream pee-pee punch and go right for it.
I don't know why he started doing that, but he has been doing that.
He has been doing it.
Yeah.
But
you got to watch out because he packs a punch. Hudson packs a wallop. Yeah, you got to watch out. That's the best part.
So that's the whole picture I can paint with the Pentucky of this. It is a punch. Like it is, you love the kid because it's your nephew and you're like, please come come play with me and have fun.
And ultimately, you'd rather take a pee punch than not seeing him at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's well worth whatever
And he
punches come
means
your way.
well.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a fun game.
It's a fun game for him.
Yeah,
He
imagine
loves
that
it.
every day coming home from work.
We're gonna make sure that vasectomy works.
Pee punch and then hold me, Dad, hold me. And I'm like, hold on, let me catch my
Just give me a
breath, dude.
second
Yeah.
here.
Give me 1 minute.
Whereas June is the barley wine. Like I'm gonna kind of peer around the corner and just wait until you notice me, and then I'll start smiling.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
then she's all
Uh-huh.
smiles
Yep.
and giggles
Yeah.
and eyes and everything.
She has very pretty eyes.
She does. She's got my eyes.
June's gonna be a problem for you.
Not exactly. Yeah. She got the only one with the blue eyes, with like me. Everybody else has brown eyes. So
Yeah, that was that barley wines. What's the price point on that guy? Just so since we're
I
talking
think that
about
one
it,
was a little bit
also
more. I think that was close to 85.
85.
Yeah.
Okay,
now
yeah.
is this is a single barrel from Liberty Pole.
That's just from Liberty Pole. Yeah,
There wasn't much
How-
left of this.
I was gonna say this is probably limited as well. Like limited as shit. We can't keep doing this to our audience. Like
No,
you're gonna
no,
be
no,
like
no.
you sons
So-
of bitches.
Here's the reason I want to do this one. Is anyone that can get to Liberty Pole within the next couple months to year, do it. Because they
made a good amount.
Well, so they had on a chalkboard their releases they were looking to do before Thanksgiving. And that cherry bounce that we saw them putting in there,
Oh yeah.
no, we didn't. Herm and I definitely tried to convince Jim to let us try some of that, but he didn't pull it down.
We just happened to be there at the right time that they were happening to making it at that
For the
time.
cocktail, yeah.
It was,
But
and we tried. It was good, but
when
I
they-
want to see what it's like now.
They put a rye in there. They took out the cocktail and put a rye in that cherry bounce to finish.
Dude.
And so that's coming out here in the next couple months.
Look, I don't want
A
to toot my
cherry
own
pie
horn,
finish.
but I'm pretty sure I mentioned that while we were there. I'm almost positive. Do you remember that?
Jim said
I'm
it
almost
is-
positive
yeah.
I said, hey, you throw a little rye in here. But, maybe not.
We kept trying. We weren't going to keep
But
pushing
then
our
again,
luck.
I say put rye in everything. So yeah. This is good. This is damn good. This is amazing. This is so damn good. Barley wine barrel
I
finished.
think I'm definitely going to try to take off the day before Thanksgiving this year.
To go there.
Yeah, for their triple finish.
What day
The
is that?
triple
That's
sing,
a
as they called
Wednesday?
it.
Is that a Wednesday?
That was when we got to try a barley wine when we were
We got
there.
to try
right?
all of them.
Okay,
So
yeah.
that was part of the triple sing for the
I'll be off.
for Thanksgiving.
I'll be off.
But they released 3 single barrels, and barley wine was one of them. And then there was the peated rye. Was it the peated rye? No, peated rye was finished in mesquite, in the mesquite barrels.
I think I could talk him into a vermouth.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
We need to talk to some people in vermouth.
I've been working on that.
We got who has the vermouth? Is MB rolling? No, it's not.
Two
them.
James.
It's Two James. Yeah.
Two James has a vermouth finish.
I don't think I want this to leave my house. This barley wine is so much better than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Boy, this is good.
We didn't even know what barley wine was.
So when I asked, like, well, what's this going to be like? And he was like, malty. This is not malty.
But I mean,
It's got malty. Yeah,
it is malty.
It
but
is malty, but in a different way.
Yeah.
I think American single malt when I think malty, and this is not American single
no.
malt
I think
malty.
malty like malt,
Yeah, like a
a
malt.
malt, like a chocolate malt. Yeah, but without the chocolate.
Yeah.
This is creamy
creamy
and freaking satisfying. Yeah, like
brown sugar.
brown.
It
Yeah,
is.
like this is
Yeah.
what a malt, what actual malt is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in a shake.
Yeah.
Which
This
is amazing.
a UDF malt shake.
This is UDF, yes. Without it doesn't have chocolate going on, but it is
no,
but
no
the
ice
malt.
cream, just malt.
But the malt, but the actual
yeah, the
malt,
yeah.
or the Whoppers, the inside of a Whopper, but without the outside. Which I'm a big Whopper fanatic.
Yeah.
I love to suck on those things until they. Have you ever done that?
Yeah. Get rid of the chocolate and then just have the malt.
Yeah. Then it's amazing. If you can be patient and suck on
You can be patient.
it's hard for me, dude. That's hard. For me. I can't put a hard candy in my mouth and not crunch it.
Crunch it.
So I have a hard time with the Whoppers, but it doesn't take that long. But this is very that kind of malt.
Yeah.
God, it's good.
And to go to the tobacco a little bit.
How does it go with the tobacco?
I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong on this, but I think this is packing a pretty good punch also. Like a bit of a nicotine punch.
Yeah, it is.
Because like
Did I
I'm like,
feel that?
man, I feel a little I feel a little more drunk than I should be.
Yeah.
So,
You can feel a little bit in the back of your throat.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised.
It has kind of a higher nicotine content than I thought it did.
A Nightcap used to be the heavy hitter as far as nicotine goes, and this is very similar to that.
Yeah.
And
How
it's
long
been
has this been
for
sitting?
2015 is when it came out.
So
That long?
11 years. 11 years.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I will say that when I remember the first time I ever tried Nightcap. It was an experience. Like I could describe it. We'd be sitting here for a minute, but it was quite. I won't forget it. Like, and the thing is, Nightcap is so well talked about and used and smoked, and whatever, that people kind of gloss over it. But what's funny is I've gotten a lot of people into pipe smoking for the first time, and when they were ready for it, I've had them try Nightcap, and it's always, oh wow, you know what I mean? Kind of a moment.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for that blend. And it's got its own smell and taste and everything else, but it does pack a bit of a wallop. And I think if you're not ready for it, which a lot of people aren't, the first time they try it, they kind of like, damn, like how's this Nightcap? And it's like, well, it's supposed to like get you up and then you go to bed. You know what I mean? You like put you up and takes you down. And I think that it is. It's funny because it's one of those blends that's talked about so much that it actually gets overlooked because it is talked about so much, but it actually is quite a formidable pipe tobacco. Yeah. And I bring it up because this is very much Nightcap in a specialty tin that's been aged for 11 years, which is, and I've had a Nightcap that has been aged. I actually had Nightcap that was aged 20 years one time. And wow. Yeah, I can tell you right now, like, wow. Yeah. And I have some comment on that because I have Dunhill Nightcap that's been sitting here for a long, long time. So eventually one of these days we'll be popping some 20-year-old Nightcap.
Yeah. I'm gonna be asking for some recommendations on cellaring here soon. So because I need to cellar something for 21 years.
You got to.
And so I need to see
the
what
anticipation. I'll give you a list.
What I should cellar for that long.
So here's what's crazy is I've got 2 tins unopened at the house for the club. And you were like, Nick, cellar those. Those are 2025. If I cellar them for 10 years, that's 2035. 2035. That seems weird. So far away, but then you think about it like, it's not that far away. Yeah.
What's funny is we just popped tins tonight that were 10 and 11 years old. Yeah. And I feel like I just bought those yesterday.
Yeah. Right. Which is crazy.
So it's just interesting that time goes by quicker than you think. So you buy it now and you wait. And before you know it, you'll be popping them. And you're like, damn, that's 11 years old. Like today, I feel like not that long ago, I bought that tin of what you want to call it, Crown of Chief, or it wasn't Crown of Chief. What's it called? A Valor.
Medal of Valor. Yeah.
I feel like it was just like a couple years ago, maybe a couple. It definitely felt like a couple years. Didn't feel like 11.
Yeah.
Did not feel like 11, but it was. Yeah. So I mean, it's just, and that's the cool thing about cellaring is life goes on, like time goes by. And you just don't realize how quick it is until you have these little mileposts or these things that say, hey, like time has gone by. Look at your kids. You know what I mean? Like, next thing you know, you're like, I was changing your diapers and now like you're going in the fridge and getting your own cereal. Mm-hmm. What happened?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it goes by quick, and people say that and they're like, oh, whatever. But it really does. It goes by quick because what's funny is we look in the mirror, we see the same person, but it's not. You're not the same person.
Right.
Like a decade's gone by, and you're older and everything else. So I just think that drink what you can while you can. Buy what you can, smoke what you can, cellar what you can, whatever. Like life is short. Live every day to the fullest. You're not guaranteed tomorrow, but be responsible.
Yeah.
There's a balance.
And so, because this Medal of Valor, I have officially burnt it out. I am out. So it's
you went through that fast.
I didn't load it all the way.
Okay,
it was more like
I did a bit of a half bowl too, and I'm almost down to the bottom too. And it smoked very well.
It smoked very well
for English.
It's a really nice ash. That was a really good tobacco that worked really well with a couple of really good bottles.
You know what I just thought of? If Liberty Poll's listening, which apparently they listen to our podcast episodes,
fantastic.
Which I love, absolutely love. Yeah. But I just saw Chris light up, and I just thought of Jim smoking a pipe or cigar.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? Kind of like Smoke Eye Hill, you guys need to do your own matches.
Yeah, Liberty Pool really should do a
They
match.
really
have
do.
their cigars.
They have their cigars.
That's the thing. They have their
They have the cigars.
I
They
think it'd
have
be
their own like
cool
cigar cases.
and if they want somebody, I can blend it for them. But they should
Pipe
do their own
tobacco?
pipe tobacco. Just do one blend.
Just one
Yeah.
blend.
The house blend. Put your name on it and do it like in a roll, like the Captain Black roll, like the cheap roll. You know what I mean? Don't do it in a whole 10 if you don't want.
Yeah.
But God, that'd be cool.
It would be.
What
That'd
would
be
you
sweet.
do
Oh,
with their stuff?
Well, I'd have to try a little bit more of their stuff. And then I'd have to come up with a couple of options for them, and they'd have to tell me what they think, and then we would tweak it. But I have a few ideas. But that'd be sweet.
I think
Why not? They have their own
especially with their
cigar,
porch. Yeah.
and the thing is that the pipe tobacco lasts forever.
It does. That's the thing.
So as long as
make
it's
a big
sealed up
jar of
right,
that,
they can make it, and people you don't have to sell it. You know, it can sit there, and then when people buy it, they buy it. Actually, the longer it sits there, the more it's going to be valued.
Yeah, exactly.
So, whereas cigars, you have a bit of a shelf life. You know, so.
Yeah,
Something
they do
to
make their
think about.
cigars and stuff, and they have their little smoking area outside there. A pipe tobacco would be really cool, but they
And
definitely
that's-
should have some matches.
And that's old world, dude.
Yeah,
It's their little clay pipe, and it's real old world.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it goes
Meerschaum
along with,
pipes.
with their aesthetic, it goes along. So they really ought to look into that. Hell, they could even sell some basket pipes in there. You know, I mean, something to think about. But I mean, imagine. Say you're a new, like you've never been to Liberty Pole, and you go there, and maybe you take a tour, and you have a few drinks, and then you sit, and then you have dinner, and you have a few more drinks, and then you go and buy some pipe tobacco or something, or a cigar. Then you sit and you have a few more drinks, and you're using their matches and stuff. And then you buy a few bottles and take them home. You're going to be like an Uber fan. Like an Uber, like this stuff was amazing. The food was amazing. The aesthetic was amazing.
If I walk up to a distillery and I see 4 or 5 guys sitting outside smoking pipes,
you know that's
I'm
legit.
like, wow, this is gonna be a good experience.
This is gonna be legit. Yeah. At a place
You don't
called
see that very
at a
often,
place
huh?
called Liberty Pole, like yeah, dude. Hell yeah, you know, yeah, dude.
So it's already cool seeing them out there sitting there smoking their cigars, but pipes are a different level.
Pipes are a whole nother level, and anybody that smokes cigars will tell you that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So this is a win. I would say I would call this a win.
This is a win. I was so excited about the Pentucky, and I'm leaving this episode being like freaking astonished by the barley wine finish.
Yeah.
Like holy freaking crap. Yeah, like we could have separated these two because they're both so freaking great. But I really did not expect. Well, I should have known. But like, damn, this was that barley wine.
And for it to be a rye,
dude, I don't care. You could be like, I detest ryes, and you'd still love this. Like, this is so damn good.
so good. Yeah, so good.
It was a good time.
This is a great time.
I hope you guys
This is a
enjoyed
good
it.
day.
Yeah. As much as I did.
It was a great time.
As we said in the last episode, in our MB Rolling episode, these were both in the same day. Yeah. So if you can imagine the last 2 weeks of listening to this podcast, MB Rolling and Liberty Pole, but instead of having to wait, we did it both at the same day, along with lots of stuff that's off camera or off mic. It's been a good evening.
It's been great.
It's been a good time. Yeah,
it's been great.
Glad you guys got to join us.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week for another one.
Till next time.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you want more great content and other perks, be sure to support the show by clicking the link in the show notes. We can be reached on our website, whiskeychaserspod.com, with any ideas for the show. Thanks again.